with. If you want to do things like panel lining and stuff like that, if you use a dark purple, dark blue, you'll often get a better result. And we'll slide this here above the knee. And make sure we got these lined up here. See, now I got to cover up these dark gold pieces that I like. Why? Why do I have to cover them up? There we go. And that's basically it for these parts, these dark parts. But we actually go back to the sea runner now, and we start working on these really large pieces, the front and back of the lower leg here. And this one here. On this piece here, this front piece, of course, because it's very large, there's flash. You can see where the mold came together there. And there's actually a groove that you can feel with your fingernail. So rather than just moving the gate mark, I'm actually going to take my knife and try to get rid of that flash as best I can. If you're painting, then you would use a sandpaper, of course, to try to get it as smooth as possible. You don't want that fingernail catching there. I'll do the best I can. Limited time I have here. And same with the other side. We got some flash here too. Some of the hobby magazines in Japan here, Dengeki Hobby and Hobby Japan, they'll show you this technique. They actually take a pen and they draw the flash on, and when they take their knife and scrape it off, that line comes off, and you can notice how the flash is actually being taken away. That's enough flash for me there. So we line this guy up. I think that it needs to go, oh sorry. It actually states that this piece goes on first. So let's take off the gate runners on here. Remember, make sure to double check the manual. This slides in from this angle from the top. Okay. With this piece from the bottom, from the front. That's a nice tight fit. Actually works really well. Makes me notice my gate mark though. Back at it we go. And now we're turning the page again. This is a lot of steps to just this leg. From now, back to the sea runner. We're working with slightly smaller pieces this time. They ask you to use these small pieces here, so we'll take these off. They're small, but they're still a sizable gate mark here. Alright, I don't feel the need to have to take every gate mark off for the video, so we'll just go from here. This actually is going to slide into this position. Like so. It's a tight fit, so maybe I'm going to need to take this gate mark off. I have to reevaluate my strategy here with the tight fitness of the armor. This is the first actual chance I've done to actually put the armor on. I'd only put the frame. So I'm learning along with you. Yeah, it's looking like a strike freedom, isn't it? And the lower part of the leg here. These big pieces, I will be taking the gate marks off of these. Slide this in here. And it also involves this dark gold piece that I like. Yay, so we'll slap that on here. This has to go on before the armor actually goes over the kneecap here. And they also show how this is supposed to attach to the foot. I wasn't going to do it, but I've changed my mind all of a sudden. If I can line these up properly, we'll get this on here for you. And there it is. So now we will work on the ankles here. Now with the ankles, not so big, you can see, made to fit right around here. One thing I'm rather surprised at, to be honest, as this is the first perfect grade I've ever worked on, is that the panel lines in this kit, there's a few of them, but not as many as I would expect on a kit this size. Whether that's part of the original design or something the designers decided to do when they were making the molds, I don't know. But I think you might see in the near future a lot of modelers doing some extra panel lining and scribing because they're not satisfied with the amount of lines on the armor. When you compare it to the frame and all the little indentations and things like that on the frame is fantastic. And I wouldn't mind actually taking the time to do panel washings and things like that on the frame, but the frame is mostly covered, so except for personal satisfaction, there's almost no point. Let's see if I have the right one here, so I'll slide this one on. Okay. Now you can see here, this little gold, this is the lame gold. A lot of people have commented how we have the very shiny gold, but we still have lame gold showing. It's not vibrant. Maybe that was determined that it was too expensive to make every piece coated. I don't know. A lot of people have already started painting theirs just because they find that there's too much of this yellow sticking out. But the more armor we can put on, the less and less noticeable it becomes. So I'm not particularly worried about it right now. Continuing with the C runner here. Alright, got my trusty knife. Quickly remove some gate marks here. Remember, it's good to have a sharp knife when you're doing this. Luckily, these hobby knives come with plenty of replacement blades, so you should be all set. You may use, 3, 4, 5 blades on this kit depending on how it goes, depending on how much detail or attention you want to give to it. From the front, still seeing a little bit of that gold there. The back, click, that snaps into place. Now, for the part for the ankle, I've actually gone ahead and put it on. It's basically the same kind of joint for the hip as it is for the ankle. You put them together with the not quite poly caps here, and then it will go on the top. I actually went ahead and put this on already because I didn't want to make a mistake between the left leg and the right leg. And I'll just keep this to the side. When I finish assembling this leg, it'll go on. But we're not finished yet. From this point, I still have to put on my front armor piece. Kind of slide it up into there. You can see there's a little bit of the gold shining up there. There's lots of little gaps on this kit where you can see these little gold things. Just testing my little flexibility here. Again, going back to the C runner. And probably the very last piece we're going to put on after we stick on the hip joint is to slide this piece in here. This is the only difference in the legs. When you build these two legs, the only difference between the left and right is this armor piece and the hip joint here. So once I sign this all in, we're finished. If I can line it up properly here. Here we go. And you'll notice it opens up nicely here. And back. I'm digging it. This is one massive leg. Look at the size of this thing. I can't even get it in the shot. Can I get in the shot? Maybe? Anyway, here it is. So that brings this week's episode to a close. I hope you enjoyed the look at the Perfect Grade Strike Freedom's legs. Next episode, we're going to be working on the skirt. Of course, it's not quite as intensive as this one was. It'll be a shorter episode, but please look forward to that. And after that, more Strike Freedom goodness. See you later.